Hey guys, my name is Ryan, and we're back again with another Spirit Island video. Welcome to the beginning of Vengeance Week. Every day this week, I will post a game playing as Vengeance against each of the 5 adversaries currently available on the official app. And today, we're going to start with Sweden. About a year and a half ago, I made a guide for this spirit, which has been very well received. So if you want to get started playing this guy yourself, the link will be in the description. Vengeance is one of my favorite spirits to play of all 37 in the game, so I'm very happy he was part of the initial release. So let's see how it goes against Sweden on board G. We do get to choose against Sweden since they start with the extra Blight when you're doing Sweden 6. One of our initial presence has to be in a land with Blight. And I actually hadn't thought about this before we started, but we get a presence in a blighted land as well as in the wetland with no Dahan. So we already know that we're starting on the coast here, and either one of these will give us full adjacency to everything. But I'm going to start in land number 8 because we have a bunch of range 0 powers, and so we know we're going to want to wind up here eventually anyways. Might as well just do it now. And we explore the sands. Royal backing, and here we go. So there's a lot of different ways to build this spirit, but pretty much all of them begin with gaining a power card on turn 1, because then from there we can dictate what we want to do for the next couple of turns. So let's see what we get. Alright, so against Sweden, defend abilities in general tend to be marginally weaker just because they do the extra damage to push through. But in this situation, being able to put a defend 4 right here, trying to get value from this Dahan, is a very nice thing. Drought is an interesting ability. Sweden tends not to put out tons of towns. Drought's a card I'd be much more likely to take against something like France, because France is much more likely to have 2 or oftentimes even 3 towns in a single land. It's maybe Fire in the Sky, right? Strife, it doesn't really care about the defense. It is fully defense for 1 invader. And then Savage Mob Beast gives us damage, which we really like. It's completely on element, 0 cost. So you could defend taking any of these. Drought's probably the worst. Drift Down is effective right now, but I feel like there's going to be really poor diminishing returns in the long game. Fire in the Sky requires a Sacred Site. Savage Mob Beast doesn't really do anything right now. Like, it's the kind of card that had to be opened up with the Jungles Explore. Maybe we take Savage Mob Beast and make a Sacred Site right now and immediately use it to pick something off. But as is, it's going to take a long time before it gains value, and we're probably better off with other options anyways. It doesn't help that it does damage to the jungle wetlands, and our Blight is not in the jungle wetlands, so we are going to take that much more time to get the value from it. As much as Vengeance is an attacking spirit, we actually want to focus a lot more on control and a lot more on tempered play as opposed to just going pure damage. The thing is that our damage scales really nicely into the end game, but in the early game our damage is bad. So we want to have that control and defense and the utility in order to survive the early game. So with all that being said, I am looking at Fire in the Sky. It's going to be broadly more useful, I think, than Drift Down. Like, a Fire in the Sky on a city is functionally a defend 5 in any terrain type, as opposed to a defend 4 on certain terrain types. We can also use Fire in the Sky right here to solve the 3. The 5 will be able to solve no problem, so I'm thinking Fire in the Sky is the play. As for what we go for, we could do like a Fire in the Sky, Fiery Vengeance next turn. But even if we were to pick up the fire, we don't have the animal. So we're not looking to do anything too crazy. Usually Fetid Breath is the kind of card that we like to play on turn 1, just to throw some disease out there, start gaining that incremental value. So I think that's perfectly fine. No need to do anything too crazy and deviate from that to get ourselves plenty of energy. Play this Fetid Breath. Now, another option, too, is not to defend this. Because of Sweden 5, we would add a town to an adjacent land with no buildings, but there is none. And if we take this Dahan, or sorry, if we protect this Dahan, it could just get escalated, and we actually could wind up in a worse situation by trying to protect the land. So another thing that I'm thinking of is maybe we use Fetid Breath to set up our Plague Bearers, probably still Fiery Vengeance this land, but we'll do like a Plague Bearers Fiery Vengeance for our next turn. Then that Plague Bearers we can then use to set up a Strike Low, which we're probably going to want to use over here. But let's see. So if we go with that line and we put a Fetid and we do the Plague Bearers, perhaps we Plague Bearers to get Explorer Town from this land to that land, or maybe we go the other way. Either way, we then can use our Fire in the Sky to strife the city. I think I like that line a lot better because, you know, that would be investing extra resources into a relatively small problem as opposed to a relatively large problem. So let's go right here with it. And also, if we get the back-to-back wetlands, no, we'd be City, Explorer, Explorer. So actually, we'd still, yeah, if we get the back-to-back, we'd push this way from 2 down to 4, strife that city, skip this Ravage to set ourselves up for the next turn. Okay. Whenever I'm planning on taking Blight with Vengeance, I do like to throw a presence in there just to pick up the extra disease, because Fetid Breath is a little bit overcosted in my opinion. There's plenty of cards on the minor deck that also give you a fear, also add disease, but only cost 1. So paying 2 for the exact same effect is, you know, less exciting. It's very likely we're going to draft into the same effect, but just better. So picking up the disease, very nice. We have 3 of our powers require disease targeting. It's just a good thing to have around. And then if we're going to go with these 2, we will pick up the Right Innate. We can use it right here in land, or no, land number 5 is going to be taken care of. Yeah, we can always use it in 8. So the second present doesn't really matter where we go. We are going to be using Fire in the Sky, so perhaps I'll just make my Sacred Site right here, give myself plenty of range and targeting. Oh, I was wondering. I just realized as I clicked through, there is an event that's like you get a free defend 5 for having a presence and a Dahan together. That would have been very funny. But the +1 health means that our Right Innate probably just going to be used to clear an Explorer, which is unfortunate, but that's how it goes sometimes. Beast Kill. And a free Coastal Dahan. If we go here, it just dies because this is hitting for 4 damage. So we're going to put it up here in land number 1. We have no fear card, so there's no way for us to, you know, try and high roll to solve the land. We're going to allow these builds through because we have a plan to deal with it all. All right. So it doesn't matter which way we elect to go. We're going to wind up doing the same thing both ways. In general, like, when you have 4 stage 2 cards, you are guaranteed to hit everything in the coast at least once, often twice. Whereas everything that's inland can only possibly get hit once. So, in general, you want to have more control on your coast than you do on your inlands. The only time that that's not the case is when you're trying to create a pocket, but we're very far away from creating a pocket right now. So in the short term, I think it's better for us to push in this direction, take the disease to go with it, because we're going to need it for our left innate down the line just to gain that value. Yeah, this doesn't matter. Unfortunately, the extra health, there's nothing on the board we can kill at range 0. Has to target the land with buildings, but yeah, we want to get marginally better control of the coast, so that way this doesn't spiral out of control. Sweden's one of those adversaries that starts really, really hot, but then doesn't have a lot in the gas tank to keep it going. So we just kind of want to survive the early game, and then we can reset, and then might have a much better mid to late game. So here, we have an interesting choice. We can grow, because we're going to take this Growth 2 probably, get ourselves to either 3 energy or 3 card plays. I'm generally a fan of going to 3 card plays because we currently have 5 total cards. Reclaim gain up to 6. So we'd play 3 cards immediately, and then we could maybe G2 again, go top, and then we get plenty of energy gain in addition to being able to play 3 cards every turn. By getting to 3 card plays, it gives us access to the second tier of our innate, which is significantly stronger than the first. So even though we're underplaying this turn, I still think it's the right move to make. So we'll go here, and then we're gonna go, let's get ourselves back over here and play our 2 cards. Okay, means you can't pocket, but we're not even trying to pocket. Choose a land with disease, we get 2 damage, that's very nice. So that gives us, kills a Dahan, which I think, once again, might just be beneficial, might want to actively kill this Dahan just to maintain control. The interesting choice, though, is perhaps we kill this town over here, such that if we do get explored again, we're just in a marginally stronger situation. However, if we do get explored again, we're probably just going to use our innate, because right now we have damage that's kind of looking for a home. So I'm going to play around the escalation and choose to go here in land number 4 as opposed to going for that coast. Ooh, very nice. This just straight up full solves our 7 by being able to remove the Explorer. And this is what I mean by Sweden's pretty flimsy. A random level 1 fear card just full solves a land, and because, like I was saying, it's only going to be hit once in the stage 2. We know there's what, 3 more stage 2 cards, so 4 turns before that can even be considered to be threatened again. It's functionally solved for the rest of the game. Skip the low numbered matching. Oh my gosh. Now we just strike this town, and then life goes on from there. Okay, we got the coast. So had we removed this town with that disease, then we would not be able to Savage Revenge this land, and we wind up in the exact same place. So it's outcome independent. Either way, we would have done the same thing. Like we would have been at 2 explorers and a disease here, because killing the town up here, this is where we would have gone. And that's just, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. So, it just doesn't make a difference. Now this is exciting. This dry wood explodes to smoldering splinters. We can just pay the energy in order to full clear this sands, which gets us that much closer to having everything being covered. We're probably going to use Fire in the Sky here, but if we do that, then we don't have access to Fire in the Sky over here. We do have a Destroyed Presence for a Fiery Vengeance, which can still solve this as well. So another idea is perhaps to use this Call to Isolation in order to solve this land. The only thing that we're really concerned about right now is the back-to-back in G1, because that will transform a Dahan into a town. So I think we're going to use Fiery Vengeance, solve this. Maybe we'll use Call to Isolation, solve this. And then Fetid Breath, we can put a disease right here in the 2, and then just skip it when it comes up. And that'll solve our entire coast. Then we actively want the back-to-back in that situation, because then this will kill itself, and we're left with 1 active mountain. So that would be a Call to Isolation play. And yeah, Call to Dahan Ways would be 1 turn too slow. And also we don't have another moon to get rid of the town. So yeah, Call to ISO here. So we got this, this, and this. Great. Oh, but if we do that, then that means we're blighting here. We would have to take a town here in land number 5. I think that's fine. Yeah, if we do it, that's fine. If anything, it gives us another target for Fiery Vengeance. Lets us keep using this card. Okay. That's the play. And we'll use Fiery Vengeance right here. Okay, extra damage from the town. It's alright. Beast kill explorers. Okay. Jungle or wetlands. Alright. And we get to push an explorer town from a Badlands. Wilds to Han. Unfortunately, that does not qualify. Okay. And yeah, we absolutely want to add the town here because that would negate everything that we just set up that call to ISO for. Great. And that back-to-back, like I said, this is just going to die in the Ravage. That's actively good for us. Fantastic. So now we can add the disease here because we're going to hit it with the strike low. And I think this will actually give us the next tier of our Savage Revenge, which is very nice to have as well. Go here, and we'll get ourselves up to 3 energy. So we have a Sacred Site adjacent to everything except for these 2 corner lands. So I'm going to put my Sacred Site right here, just so that way now everything is within 1 range of a Sacred Site, in case that's something that matters at some point down the line. Cool, so since we have this land solved, this one's all good. Even if we get +1 damage for some reason, yeah, we'll take a Blight, we'll flip the Blight card, but 1 to Han will die and it'll still solve the land. This is the only land that matters. So I'm going to throw a Strife in there now, and just so that way we don't have to kill everything. The way that I'm looking at it, we have 4 damage, thanks to this Badlands right here. That'll kill the city and the Explorer. Then on the Reclaim, we could fire in the sky the other town, or maybe we fast kill it, or, we have other choices. But by doing it this way, we're not required to kill everything, because having control of the game in this is really the turning point of the game. Having control of the game right now is more important than killing everything. Because once we start hitting these mid to upper tier of our innates, our damage is just immense, and we'll be able to clear the board damn near instantaneously. We do have this damage per disease, and we have 1 stage 2 card left. It's either going to be a Sands or a Wetlands. So we could kill this town, but I'm going to prioritize killing this town because we know that this is going to be coming up soon. All right. Bonus damage. We don't care about that, so this is very nice for us. And since we're about to reclaim, we can forget an air card. Like, I think this Call to Isolation, it did a great job for us, but we actually just don't care about it. So that's what we're going to forget. And we're going to gain a card during Reclaim to immediately replace it. There's only 2 lands that it's going to target, and if Explorers come up, those are super easy to deal with. So yeah, it's not going to do anything for us for the rest of the game. Han is not our game plan. Add a Wilds to a jungle without Blight. We do not get the Fear because there's no Invader, but we do get a Wilds, and this is nice. Either one, it doesn't matter because it's not coming up next, so we're not going to hedge our bets there. So let's, maybe we get control of the here, just because we have the Wilds here, and that can pick off Explorers, just because it's a little bit of marginal value. Okay. Get the Wetlands, fantastic. And now the question becomes, what do we want to do with this Plague Bearers? So, I'm thinking we could use it because it's 2 pieces per disease. So we could move 4 Explorers and 2 disease all into this one land, and then we'd have 3 disease. So then we can set our turn up. Since, let's see, we have to play Fire in the Sky. I was going to say we could set ourselves up to get tier 2 of the innate, but we could do it the next turn after. But I really like the idea of just getting everything really nicely stacked together, so that way we can kill it more efficiently. And since it's at range 0 with our presence, we also have, we have both of our innates that we can just start chipping away at it, and we can clear it all pretty nicely. We have Strife and other effects that we can use to solve that. So I think we're going to gain a minor one last time. And then if we didn't have to forget the card there, we would be at 7 cards, and we can go to 4 card plays. But since we're going to be at 6 cards, I think it's probably going to be, next turn is going to be gaining a major, tossing something from our discard pile in to be forgotten, so that way we can still maintain maximum card plays every turn. So minor this turn for the last time. Ooh, Guardian Serpents. It's interesting because it gives us a way, if we don't 100% clear G2, we can still deal with it. Portents of Disaster is another interesting one. Just straight fear, unadulterated fear, as we're at the point of the game where now it's like, now we're trying to win, as opposed to not lose. And then if we play Portents this turn, maybe we just kind of play like a hodgepodge of random shit, like Portents, Fiery Vengeance, something else, and then we forget the Portents of Disaster. Because it's not it's, you know, get a little bit of chip value from it. Let's see, how much damage are we planning on doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12, 13, 14, 6 down to 8 health left. 8 health left. This turn, Fiery Vengeance this. Maybe we Fire in the Sky this. And then do something like a Plague Bearers to move this guy. 50% chance of it being explored. All right, we've also got this one. So we've got a very, very high 5 out of 6 chance of us using a Plague Bearers. And even if we miss, we'll still move this town. Yeah, maybe it's a Plague Bearer's turn. Okay. I think that'll be the line. So if we do that, then I think Guardian Serpents is the card to hold on to. Yeah. I think that's fine. Fiery Vengeance, Fire in the Sky. And then do we Plague Bearers or do we Fetid Breath? I think we Plague Bearers. Very, very high chance of us getting one of these two and then just dealing with it immediately. Okay, we got to push some explorers. So let's see. We'll push you over here because we can just kick it right back out with Plague Bearers. Interesting. Push a beast to an adjacent land with no blight. Going here doesn't do anything, but going here picks up an explorer, which is cool. Let's see. How much damage do we have? We have 3 damage coming. That's going to kill a city. That's fine. Strife and land with the Han. Okay. Okay. Skip build actions. And we got jungles and sands. We got them both. Okay. So we're going to strike low this land. Therefore, how do I want to do this Plague Bearers? I think we might Plague Bearers into land number 5. Or we could just stick with the plan of just using our left innate perpetually over here in land number 2. That's fine. Yeah, if we're going to skip it anyways, let's just keep everything nice and tight and tucked together. Now we could, I was originally thinking about using my innate here, but now that there's all of this going on, 3, 4 damage, full clears land number 5, that's just more efficient. So that's what we're going to do. Now, another interesting option we could do is just double grow here into land number 4, and then play our whole grip, and then just stick with miners. That's another way of approaching the same problem. And I think I like that better, as opposed to just like choosing to go blighted when we don't have to. And so if we double grow across the bottom, that means that our reclaim is just going to be that much better. So I keep changing my mind. There's a lot of different approaches, which is why the Spirit's fun. It's really, really interesting to, not just have one set build that you do every time, no matter what. I mean, that gets kind of boring. I think I like this quite a bit. 8 damage over here. Yeah. And we're in Terror level 3. How close are we to winning? 4 whole cards? Okay, so it's more likely we're going to kill this one city before we do all that. Maybe we just reclaim for a major, honestly. Ooh, we removed that strife. Okay, well, we're going blighted anyways. Wait, destroy a town and land with beast. Just kidding, this is a wave of emotions. At a strife and land not matching a ravage card, 1 fear per player. Ooh. Okay, we'll just go right here. Strife and land with or adjacent to beast. Invaders skip all normal actions and land with beasts. Oh, there we go. Skips a build. That's a big deal. We're going to strife here. Wait, no, it can't even explore because it skips all normal actions. So I'll have the strife here. And in fact, I think now we remove the disease because there's only 2 out of 5 chance of us getting this explore. And if that happens, then the land's just solved. Excellent. Yeah, we don't have to do anything here. That's solved, solved, solved. The whole ravage is solved, so we can just go 100% pure offense, and we don't have to worry about anything. I think this disease ad is going to be largely inconsequential. So we'll go right there. I think we've reclaimed, gained a major, and if we can kill this city fast, then that's it. That's GG. And let's see. Trees Radiate is fast damage if we hit the threshold. We have no other plants. Okay. Walls of Rock and Thorns, the wrong terrain type. Flow Like Water. We can do Fetid Breath to gather it over. And then we just need to be able to hit the 1 damage per disease innate. I think we can do that. So let's see. We do this and this. We need to threshold it so that way we can move a city. And then all we have to do is get 1 more animal. Okay, cool. Easy. So yeah, it doesn't really matter. We just do that. Flow Like Water ourselves. Bring the presence this way. Bring in that. And bada boom. Kill the last city. And that's the game. So that the first installment of Vengeance Week. We're going to be playing games with Vengeance against every adversary over the course of the week. Random boards. They're all going to be level 6s. So if you like the Spirit as much as I do, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.